She's out. And so are they. A new partner for these guys. And is a new cup team on the cards? Plus a helping of Docktalk.
This was a big week for the Gitana team as their brand new Ultim Tri slipped out for her first sailing trials. This is a project that started in 2022, so taking her out for the first time was a very big deal for all.
I know I keep saying it, and it won't be the last time either, I'm sure, but what a machine. As you might expect, they're taking it step by step as they check and validate loads. The methodical process of checking systems takes a great deal of their time on a boat that is incredibly complex. This was the first step in the long process of gradually working up the beast. Getting up onto her foils is still a fair way off, not least because they're not actually fitted yet. Nevertheless, she's impressive from pretty much any angle you choose. And what strikes me straight away is how much more refined she looks. She's got more slender, low-profile bows, and overall she looks like she's got much lower aero drag. Her main hull is much skinnier too than on Gitana 17. And in the air she has what looks to be a much higher aspect ratio mainsail than we've seen before. In fact, it looks very similar to the shape and proportions of an America's Cup one on an AC75. And this is particularly interesting. We know that this is more efficient from a lift-drag point of view, but tall rigs are harder to handle and can get overpowered quickly. Presumably the raking spreader system that allows the camber of the mainsail and hence power to be adjusted is one of the keys to this development. And this is just one of the many new areas that need to be set up and understood. One of the biggest will be getting to grips with the innovative A-frame rudders that will be focusing a good deal of attention from the team. So while the first day was a big day for the team, it's going to be one of many in the long road to getting her ready for the route to Rome later this year.
Meanwhile, at the other end of the world, the Kiwis are the first to launch their AC75, Taiahoro, from their base in Auckland.
The rule states that for the 38th America's Cup you can't build a new boat. So, like all those who competed for the last Cup in Barcelona, the Kiwis know their own boat inside out. But, like the French Gitana team, they're still taking a very cautious approach. Because while the boat looks the same on the outside, on the inside, the systems are very different indeed. With crew reduced from 8 to just 5, along with a move from physical power for everything above the waterline to a total reliance on electrical power, there are some fundamental key differences this time around. Many of them will be hard, if not impossible, for the rest of us to see.
Which is why it's good news that Emirates Team New Zealand's head of design, Dan Bernasconi, was happy to talk through what the changes in crew and systems might mean this time around.
The boats overall are quite a lot lighter. We've taken weight out of the foils and a few other areas, and also going down four cyclers and up one sailor and guest racer. It does change the weight distribution a little bit. So you've got to look at it all as a sort of overall balance and make sure we're within the rule box, but at the front end of it.
In taking the 4 cyclors off, the new configuration will see an extra crew member put aboard. What would their role be?
Yeah, we're going to look at some different options, and we've got some ideas. I mean, I think sail trim is the obvious one. You've got 2 helmsmen and 2 foil trimmers, where the sail trim was kind of divided up between those people before. So I think for sure they'll be doing more sail trim and probably also more strategy. You've got more opportunity to have heads out of the boat now that you've got really an extra sailor.
Having won the Cup in 2024 in Barcelona, what have they seen in other teams that had influenced their design for this Cup?
I think at the time we were concentrating on that campaign rather than looking ahead. And for sure there were things that we didn't get onto last campaign. I mean, you look at sort of the detail of the fairings around the jib and the main travellers. It's always wondering how you can do better there. And yeah, in terms of sensors on the foils, Ineos last time had some nice flow sensors which we've adopted for this campaign.
And how about performance improvements? Did they have a target for this Cup cycle? And if so, are there still big areas to exploit, or is it all about marginal gains?
I think it is primarily marginal gains. There's lots of optimization in a load of different areas. I doubt that there'll be a team that comes out with something completely radical that changes the game. I mean, if they do and they're successful, then it would be a big upset. But it's the third generation of the class, and I think it's the smaller gains we're looking at this time. I mean, we don't have a specific target. We don't sort of begin the campaign and say this is what we've got to get to. I guess we're just taking any gains we can as they come along, and every decision we make, we're taking the positive. I mean, occasionally there's trade-offs with cost or with weight, and then we have to sort of look at one versus another. But no, we haven't sort of projected forward and said, by the time we race, we're going to be 5% quicker than we were in Barcelona. It's also different across the wind speed range. I mean, the boats have got a fair bit lighter, so at the bottom end of the range, they will be a lot quicker. Top end, there's less riding moment, so all things being equal, they would be a bit slower, but probably you make that gain back again in more efficiency in the foils and the way we're controlling the boat. So, no, we don't have a specific number we're targeting.
Meanwhile, back up top, there's been a fair bit of chatter about the extension of the entry deadline for the 38th America's Cup. The question seemed to be whether this was a PR stunt to attract more attention, or whether there really was another team about to join in. What I'm hearing is the latter. When you think about the rules for the next America's Cup and the time frame, building a new boat is not an option. So if you did want to compete, what is there to buy? Well, not much, I'd say. By process of elimination, it must surely be American magic. Team owner Doug DeVos has said that the team would not compete for the next Cup. Instead, he seems to prefer spending money in SailGP after buying the Danish Rockwool team. So, with all the other recent generation of boats accounted for, that must surely be the only one that's up for grabs. An extension to the deadline says to me that there is potential for that boat and what's ever left of the team to be heading for Naples. And with the new entry deadline set at the 31st of March, we won't have long to wait to find out.
The British, now under the name of GB1, have announced a new technology partner, PhysicsX, an AI engineering platform which the team says will help accelerate engineering insight and support system-level optimization across the campaign. Presumably this helps to fill the gap that was left after the Ineos fallout, which also saw their link to the Formula One Mercedes team broken. On the staff front, trimmers Bledin Mon and Ben Cornish joined the team, a team they know well, having been in the British camp last time around.
Elsewhere, the Italians have been out on the water in their AC40, the French are about to announce their team formally, and Alinghi continue to keep stum. Among the excitement last year leading up to the return of the Admiral's Cup, there was one boat that kept cropping up in conversation, the Wally Rocket. Not least because in the build-up to the boat's launch, she'd been described as the most advanced 51-footer afloat.
A bold call perhaps, but winning the 160-mile Channel race that opened the event was the first indication that their claim was for real. But this was just the start. Behind the scenes, the Wally Rocket 71 was preparing to enter the intensity of the Maxi 72 world. 2 tons lighter than a typical 72 and slightly shorter, the Wally Rocket proved nimble and quick from the off. Just 10 days after her launch, she was competing in a coastal race off Saint-Tropez in the Duralia, before then going on to win the Rolex Maxi Grand Prix World Championships in Porto Cervo in the summer. But being Wally's, there was one other key requirement in both of their briefs: stunning looks. And these needed no additional comment at all. 2 boats, 1 season, 1 big statement.
Combining the high-quality inner workings of Anderson's Winches with Ronstan's forward-thinking design was a masterstroke and delivered the award-winning Orbit range of winches.
Among the innovative detailing, the ability to ease a line quickly without removing it from the drum or having to take the winch handle out is what stands out. Now the company has launched 2 and 3 speed electric versions of the 45QT and the 50QT. This new E2 range is suitable for yachts of up to around 14 metres, and ideal for situations where fast line retrieval is required. But the 2-speed system means that low-speed sheeting at high loads is also available.
Having developed and validated their new range of high-performance offshore clothing in the harsh world of IMOCAs, it was time to roll the kit out to the next level.
Jorn Rischom and his team aboard Paprika Kia were one of the key testbeds during the Ocean Race Europe, an event that threw the widest possible conditions at the crew. Then it was on to the Rolex Sydney Hobart race, with the crew of some more wickedly quick machines, the Maxi Yachts Law Connect and Comanche. Both crews were wearing the new top-of-the-range OFS 800 3-layer laminate offshore range, along with the Seaboot 700. The OFS 700 range was also in the crew's kit bags. And the common denominator throughout was highly waterproof, breathable, warm and comfortable clothing for the teams, and a thrilling neck-and-neck duel to the finish in Hobart.